In the 1970s, the entire Chinese economy was smaller than a single struggling US state. We used to laugh them off as nothing more than a cheap sweatshop. But 40 years later, they haven't just taken millions of jobs, they're aiming straight for America's throne.
Rewind to 1978. While America was basking in prosperity, halfway across the globe, China was practically destitute. Their average income was less than $200 a year, worse off than even the most desolate parts of the Rust Belt back then. But Deng Xiaoping realized one hard truth. To completely transform, they needed a giant to back them up. And that giant was none other than Uncle Sam.
The rise of the Asian dragon didn't actually begin in Beijing, but right inside the Oval Office. On January 1st, 1979, President Jimmy Carter officially threw open the doors of diplomacy. Just weeks later, Deng Xiaoping set foot on American soil. The image of him happily wearing a cowboy hat at a Texas rodeo instantly won over the American media. History proves that Washington was far too generous back then. We shared our technology, knowledge, and billions of dollars in capital with one belief and hope: to use China as leverage to contain the Soviet Union and gradually turn them into a compliant backyard. America had no idea that this historic handshake was essentially signing a contract to nurture its most formidable rival of the 21st century.
With Washington's backing, Deng Xiaoping immediately drew a circle on the southern coast, giving birth to special economic zones. Shenzhen, once a muddy, impoverished fishing village, quickly witnessed a modern-day gold rush. Western capitalists and Wall Street rushed in, building massive economic laboratories. Regulations were loosened and taxes were slashed to the bare minimum. Almost overnight, from the ashes, the foundation of a superpower was forged, setting the stage for a monumental overthrow. And this is when China unleashed the weapon that would reshape the entire global economy: a massive, cheap, and seemingly invisible army of workers.
Starting in the 1990s, China witnessed the largest mass migration in human history. Hundreds of millions of farmers left their barren fields, stuffed all their belongings into canvas bags, and flooded into stifling coastal factories. This wave was 1,000 times more massive and intense than the great American migration to Detroit's auto plants during its golden age. This army worked at a soul-crushing pace, fueling the notorious 996 culture, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. This demographic engine turned China into a blazing furnace that never cooled down.
And then came the ultimate game changer. In 2001, with enthusiastic backing from Washington itself, China officially joined the World Trade Organization, or WTO. If before they were just looking in from the outside, the WTO was the ultimate VIP pass, allowing them to rightfully sweep through every global market. Almost immediately, American CEOs from the Fortune 500 packed briefcases full of cash and flew straight to Beijing. The economic math was brutal. Why should corporations pay $20 an hour plus expensive healthcare for a worker in Ohio when it cost less than $1 for a laborer in Guangdong who was willing to work overtime until the next morning? The result was an invasion without a single gunshot. Made in China labels took over every single corner of America, from sleek sneakers and vibrant toys under Christmas trees to the toasters in our kitchens. They devoured every shelf at Walmart and Target from coast to coast. We happily swiped our credit cards to enjoy zero inflation, completely convinced that China would forever accept its role as a low-level factory, obediently sewing t-shirts for Americans for the rest of time. But America was dead wrong. Under the guise of an obedient factory floor, they were using their own blood and sweat to accumulate massive capital. They relentlessly copied technical blueprints, absorbed core technologies, and quietly wove together a colossal supply chain that no superpower could ever break. By throwing open the doors to the WTO, America had personally strapped a rocket engine to the back of this dragon, and the countdown was officially triggered. The first massive blow that violently shook the world order came in 2008. As Wall Street went up in flames from the worst financial crisis in modern history, all of America plunged into panic.
Millions of working-class families lost their homes overnight, and the federal government had to grit its teeth and print trillions of dollars just to bail out massive failing banks. The West was reeling, and most experts in Washington were convinced that China's export machine, heavily dependent on the West, would also stop dead in its tracks. But Beijing responded with a chilling level of composure. Instead of panicking, they unleashed a massive economic stimulus package worth nearly $600 billion. However, they didn't use that money to bail out bankrupt financial elites like we did. They poured all their resources into the biggest gamble of the century: infrastructure. Thousands of miles of high-speed rail tore across the landscape. Massive sea-crossing bridges were erected, and millions of tons of steel were melted down to forge megacities. They generated massive domestic demand to keep their economic engine roaring, while the rest of the world was practically on life support. The results of that spectacular gamble sent shockwaves around the globe. In 2010, China officially dethroned Japan, the once invincible economic titan of Asia, to boldly claim its spot as the second largest economy on the planet.
Yet, the most absurd and tragic reality was that right at this historic moment, policymakers in Washington were still taking it easy, drowning in a fatal complacency. In the eyes of the American elite back then, no matter how massive China's GDP got, it was nothing more than an empty shell. America deluded itself with a tired, outdated mindset. China is only good at copying and making cheap knockoffs. How could they ever possess the brain power to match the brilliant innovation of Silicon Valley? This exact arrogance and illusion of power completely blindfolded America. Washington failed to realize that their rival was no longer content with just running in their shadow.
That exact arrogance created the perfect vacuum, paving the way for a new man to step onto the political stage, someone who would permanently rewrite the rules of the game and breathe directly down the neck of the world's #1 superpower. In 2012, Xi Jinping stepped into absolute power and immediately turned a new page in human history. He recognized a brutal truth: if they kept their heads down on iPhone assembly lines or sewing cheap t-shirts for the West, China would forever remain nothing more than a hired hand. Deng Xiaoping's philosophy of hide your strength, bide your time was officially tossed into the dustbin of history. The Asian dragon had finally spread its wings, and this was the moment it bared its true fangs. To prepare for this monumental overthrow, Xi kicked things off with a massive political purge known as striking tigers, flies, and foxes. With an uncompromising iron fist, he locked up swarms of corrupt officials, exactly how Americans have always craved a president who would dare to drain the swamp in Washington. With absolute power firmly in his grasp, he aimed his crosshairs at a single target: defeating America at its own game, technology and soft power. In just a few short years, top-secret intelligence reports began flooding the desks at the Pentagon, carrying a chilling reality. America was stunned to realize that the tailors of yesterday had now surpassed us across a sweeping range of fields that will dictate the future of humanity. On the front lines of artificial intelligence, or AI, and computing, they were no longer copycats. They boldly led the world in open-source AI models and cloud computing, and delivered a knockout blow with the launch of the Hanyuan 2 dual-core quantum computer. In space technology, Beijing was forging its very own Apollo era. While NASA was still fighting tooth and nail for every single dollar of funding in the Senate, China had quietly outpaced America in 3 fatal choke points: satellite navigation, spy imaging technology, and most terrifyingly, anti-satellite weapons. The sky above was no longer America's exclusive backyard. Even more terrifying, they slipped a perfect noose around our necks in the clean energy sector. While our politicians were still busy bickering over whether climate change was even real, China quietly swallowed up over 90% of the global solar panel supply. They hold absolute dominance in battery and EV exports. Tesla might look flashy in the headlines, but it's the mega factories in Shenzhen that actually hold the heartbeat of the future auto industry. And the final lethal blow crashed down on the economic front. Measured by purchasing power parity, or PPP,
the Chinese economy has actually quietly surpassed America to become the largest in the world. They are crushing us in fintech patents, dominating hypersonic weapon technology, and sprinting toward the finish line with 6G networks. The prestigious Silicon Valley is no longer the sole epicenter of innovation.
Only now did America finally wake up from its long slumber of complacency. We looked around and were struck by a chilling realization. From the phones in our hands, to the solar panels on our roofs, to the satellites orbiting overhead, the shadow of our rival was closing in from all sides. The world order we had painstakingly built was hollowed out to its very core. In just 40 short years, from an impoverished, muddy wasteland, they bent the entire global supply chain to their will, rising up to split the world in half. In 2018, a frantic Washington opened fire, launching a brutal trade war in a desperate attempt to chain this dragon back down. But is it already too late?